Now that's going to be useful because we're going to use some of the variables that we've loaded in the previous node for this as well. So if I open this up, I don't want it to be that big actually. Let's just leave it as it was. So for the system prompt, I'm literally just going to drag this in and put it there. For some reason, it never puts the dragged stuff wherever you want it. Okay, that's behaving a little bit better now. Right, so we want the research system prompt here, and in the user prompt, essentially, we're just going to pass it some information that we've specified that we're going to give it in the system prompt. So in the system prompt, if you have a look at it very quickly, it's giving some context, it's giving the role, research the topic statement provided. Okay, so essentially all I need to do in the user prompt is say, here is the topic statement that I want you to research, and then provide the research topic in here. Now the great thing about doing it this way is that you don't need to come into this workflow and change it every single time. You can keep the workflow running exactly how it is, especially once you've tuned it to your liking. All you need to do is then just change some of the data in this Google Sheet, and then you can fire off this workflow whenever you want, and it will work exactly how you intend it to. It's perfect. So as you can see, we've now got the prompts. That all looks good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy my API key, put it into here, and then run this. Okay, so now it's run. We've gotten our research from Perplexity. Let's see what it's come back with. So if we take a look at the results, I did have to make a few tweaks in here to get it to work as I wanted. So the main thing that I had to do was when I was pulling in the system prompt, I just had to add this to JSON string method at the end of it. That got it to work exactly as I wanted. But if we have a look at the results, you can see there's a whole bunch of information that comes back from Perplexity here. Gives us the citations, gives us some search results of actual articles that it's actually found based on the search topic that we asked it for. And it's obviously summarized our research for us as well, which is amazing. Now, one thing to bear in mind with this particular system prompt is that there was a few constraints that I gave it. I wanted it to include all citations, and I wanted it to be no longer than 3,000 words. I also wanted for them to include 30 keywords that I can use for SEO purposes. So then the output should be in this format here, this kind of like JSON format that you can see. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to copy this because I'm going to use this in later on. So if I come back to the content, this is great. This is the research that I wanted, so I'm pretty happy with this. So what we're going to do from here is we're not going to worry too much about the formatting of all this information that's come from Perplexity, because all the information is actually exactly what we want. But what we're going to do is we're going to pass this on to the next part of the workflow, which is going to be the LLM, which is going to generate our blogs for us. But before we do this, let's go back to our Google Sheet, and we actually have this research tab here. So we're going to just paste all of this research information that it's come back with into this tab so that we can keep track of everything. So we're going to add a Google Sheet node. Got my caps lock on for some reason. End row in the sheet. We're going to choose our sheet, and we're going to choose the research tab. So what we can do here is we can actually use some of the internal variables to populate some of this data. So we're going to put the now variable in the timestamp created. Research topic, we can take that from the code node. Target audience, similar, we can do that as well. And then research outputs. So the target audience wasn't actually used by the previous node, but that's going to be used by the next thing. And then I'm just going to pass this into a string so that it's somewhat usable. There are some other sort of like some more metadata that we hear as well. We might want to include that too actually, so let's do this. So research, citations. And then we can just put that into here as well. Yeah, that should be fine. So now if I run this, this should insert the data into our sheet. Okay, so it's having a problem with identifying which node is coming, which which run the data is coming from the previous node. So what we can do, because there's only one item that's coming from the Perplexity node, we can just literally replace item with first, and that should solve our problem. Great, so that's pasted what we want into it. As you can see, we've now got a row of data. We've got the timestamp that this research was created, the research topic itself, the target audience, and then the research output. So we can always use this and refer back to this later. So that's great.